Suicide Notes, Day 8. This is my 1 week anniversary at Club Meds. Instead of a party, my big surprise was that my parents came to see me. Or they came because someone told them to, at least. Anyway, when I walked into Cat Poop's office for what I thought was going to be my usual brain-picking session, there they were. At first I thought I was seeing things, or that two people who just happened to look like my parents were there for their own session and I was interrupting. But it was them. They were sitting on the couch. When they saw me, my mother stood up and started to come toward me, but then stopped. I think maybe Cat Poop told her not to make any sudden movements because they might scare me. Like I'm a wild animal or something, because she kept looking at him and then at me. Finally, she just said, "Hello, Jeff," and sat down again next to my father. I sat in the big chair across from the couch and didn't say anything. I mean, really, what do you say to your parents when the last time they saw you, you were practically dead and they had to call the paramedics? It's not exactly your typical "how was school today" kind of thing. And it's not like we've ever been into the whole sharing thing anyway. We're not huggers. "Jeff, is there anything you'd like to say to your parents?" Cat Poop said when we'd all been quiet for what seemed like 100 years. "Is there anything I'd like to say to them?" I thought. Yeah, there was. Why didn't you just let me die, for starters? Why'd you have to come home early from your stupid party? Why'd you have to put me in this place with a bunch of whack jobs? But what I actually said was, "What did you tell everyone?" My mom rubbed her hands together. "We told Amanda that you were in the hospital," she said. "We didn't tell her why." "She's 13, not 4, I said. "She must have asked." "I know my sister. She's got to know everything about everyone. She can tell you which girl at school just got her period for the first time and who's thinking about asking who to the dance. There's no way she hadn't asked them what was going on." My mom looked at my dad, who looked at the floor. "We told your sister you were having some problems," he said. I laughed. I don't know why it was funny to me that they hadn't told Amanda the truth, but it was. And I knew they were lying about what they did tell her. They must have told her something else. I wondered what she thought was wrong with me. Cancer? A brain tumor? I couldn't wait to find out. "What about everybody else?" asked my parents. "What did you tell my school?" "We told them you were going to be out for a while," said Dad. "That's all." "Haven't any of my friends called to find out what's up?" "Amanda has been letting them know that you're sick," said my mother. "Sick," I repeated. So that's how they thought of me, as being sick. Poor little Jeff, sick and in the hospital while the doctors try to figure out what's wrong with him. The idea of everyone feeling sorry for me made me angry. "What about Allie?" I asked, surprising myself. "She hasn't called," my mother said. I didn't say anything. "Is there anything the two of you would like to say to Jeff?" Cat Poop asked my parents. "We love you," said my mother. I nodded. "Like I said before, Hallmark moments aren't my style." "And we want you to get better," added my father, "so you can come home." I won't bore you with the rest. There really isn't much more anyway. Basically, we all sat there for 45 minutes, not saying anything unless the doc made us. Then there were this awkward goodbye part where my mother broke the no hugging rule and my father patted me on the back. Then they left. Cat Poop had me stay, and when he came back from showing my parents out, he asked me how I felt things had gone. "You could have warned me," I said. "Why?" he asked. "Did you feel threatened by seeing them?" "No," I told him. "I just wasn't expecting it is all." "Were you embarrassed?" "It's not like the last time I saw them I was winning the national spelling bee or making the game-winning touchdown or anything," I said. "Who's Allie?" he asked. "What?" I said, pretending not to hear him and kicking myself for saying her name. Of course he was going to jump on that. "Allie," he repeated. You asked your parents if Allie had called to ask about you." "Oh, right, Allie. She's a friend from school." "Tell me about her." I shrugged. "There's not much to tell," I said, hoping I sounded casual about it. "She's just a girl I've been friends with for a while. But it's important for you to know that she cares what's happened to you." He said it like it was a fact, not a question. I didn't want to answer him, but he was waiting for me to say something. "She and I were kind of going out," I said finally. "God, you're nosy. You're worse than my sister." Cat Poop wrote something on his pad, but didn't say anything. I couldn't tell whether he believed me or not. I wondered how much time was left in our session and prayed it wasn't much. As if he could read my mind, he put his pen down. "That's all for today," he said. "We'll talk more tomorrow. Oh, and your parents will be coming once a week from now on, so don't say I didn't warn you." I got out of there as fast as I could, and I've been feeling weird the rest of the day. I don't know why exactly. Maybe because at first I thought getting out of this place would be a piece of cake, but I think I might have been wrong.